Hello and welcome to your Daily Focus Tro for Thursday, the 23rd. Sorry, I'm in a little bit of pain right now. So I'm going to make this kind of a quick reading for today. In today's focus, we have the Ten of Pentacles, and for a clarifier, the Eight of Wands. So this is talking about long-term success. It's talking about a balance between home and work. You'll notice these pentacles, they're diversified. There's one that's kind of a wall hanging. Another two are carved into the lintel, the wood, the door frame. One is on his bag or her bag. One is on the bag of the person leaning on the throne. Four are on the throne. This is, the card of happy endings, the card of happy families, togetherness, achieving success. It's the pinnacle of all of your dreams coming true in every way. He's got the loving, devoted family. He's got his leisure time. He can just sit there sleeping. The white gray hair makes me think of wisdom, like the wisdom of age or just general wisdom. He's got his dog. He's got loyalty. He's got, a young child or grandchild. So he's got his legacy living on. He's got all the material things he could ever want. And this can be talking about fast change. The book says air travel, but I don't get that for this reading. To me, this is more about the change and why you are changing, especially later on in the reading. We had two cards come out at the same time for, I asked for one card and I got two fall out. So we have the Seven of Wands. Only these are 6 spears, and he's defending himself with one wand, but he's got the higher ground. So this can be talking about perseverance as well as defending yourself. So you're staying strong in your defense of yourself. And the Six of Pentacles, it's about giving and receiving. And the guy here, he looks completely different. He almost looks asleep in this picture. But this guy, he looks, a little bit worried. Even though he's giving people, he's got these 3 hands that are out asking him for money. It's the middle of winter, and he's sitting at the base of the tree with nothing but a robe on. Nothing but his wand, his staff. And he's got these pentacles almost hanging like Christmas ornaments or Yule ornaments from the tree. So this card it's talking about balance. You might be a little too defensive, and that could be part of the struggle for you, or perhaps you're not defensive enough. I'm thinking you're a little too defensive. Okay, so we go from the 6 to the 7. We go from the 10 here to 10 of Wands. So 10 of Pentacles and 10 of Wands. This card is talking about struggle too and burden. And so the 7 of Wands and the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Pentacles are all echoing each other. You're having some sort of burden around giving and taking, giving and receiving. and you need to drop that burden. This Three of Pentacles also came out with the Ten of Wands. And this is a card about planning, collaboration, groups of people, celebration. It's about enjoying the fruits of your labor, and the fruits are the pentacles. So there's something going on with you not being able, you're struggling to give and receive within the community, within your group of friends, and that's preventing you from getting more pentacles. You notice they're under the shade of this tree, and the pentacles are more like the fruits of this tree than ornaments like they are on this tree. And this tree is giving them a lot of shade. It's giving them enough shade. They've got a beautiful bench to sit on and overlook their blueprints, their plans for the future. They're obviously, you know, he's wearing an apron, so they're obviously making something. Like skilled trades is what this is making me think of. They're planning for the future, but you're feeling burdened and defensive by this. And it's keeping you from getting this Ten of Pentacles. It's keeping you, the fast changes that you need to drop this burden. You need to figure out what this burden is with these Ten of Wands, whether it's a burden of collaboration or a burden that's preventing you from collaborating. And you need to drop that to get the Ten of Pentacles. We also have Princess of Cups and Rebirth that came out at the same time. Now, Princess of Cups, she's talking about your possibility, about nurturing a creative possibility. And this is happening in the fall. I suppose you could read it as spring, but I read it as fall because of the leaves and the coloring, the dark coloring. I've never gotten Rebirth in this deck. So I had to look it up. This is the Druid Craft deck. I'm going to read a little from the book. It says, here we see the initiate being reborn from the temple tomb of New Grange. It is the Fool, is the child represented in the previous card of the Sun, and soon to be seen is the hermaphroditic world figure in the next card. Hermaphrodite is a balance of male and female. So you might say the balance of yin and yang, or giving and receiving, the balance within yourself. Achieving that balance, not necessarily balance outside yourself, like in the workplace or anything like that. This is talking about internal balance. So it says that he is emerging from the tomb on the winter solstice. The priest initiator stands outside the entrance, blowing upon a door. He summons the soul to wake up, to be reborn, to accept this life, to reap its rewards, and begin a new cycle. The spiral pattern on the entrance stone reinforces many of the themes of this card. The mysteries of birth and death. See, I always read it as waves, but it can be. Regeneration, redemption, renewal, and reaping. The light of the pale midwinter sunrise illuminates the scene, and we can see a hare and holly, ivy, and mistletoe in the foreground. It goes on to say the traditional tarot names this card Judgment. It's 22. So it's talking about hope and balance and new beginnings. Like the Princess of Cups is talking about this potential. for this new beginning. The book goes on to say that on the traditional judgment card, we see people emerging out of tombs as their bodies are resurrected. And it's talking about Judgment Day. If you're Christian or Catholic or one of those, one of the sects of those, sect, S-E-C-T-S, sorry, of those religions. It talks about the ancients built their places of burial and worship together. In temples such as Newgrange were the repository for ancestors' bones, as well as possible places of initiation. The knowledge that death and rebirth are part of a cyclical process is written both in the land and in the sky. The way that crops flourish, die, and are reborn each year. And in the way the moon is reborn each month and the sun each year at the time of the winter solstice. Even the image of the trumpet is found in earlier religions. Dwarves have been found all over Ireland and also in Scotland and England. They were hurled into water as sacred offerings and were probably played with a circular breathing technique used on didgeridoos from Australia. Studies of the acoustic properties of temples such as Newgrange show that the ancients almost certainly used chanting, drumming, and trumpets such as Dords to create magnificent and awe-inspiring sounds that enhanced the rituals being performed there. So this is saying this card is a call to rebirth. It's a call to be your authentic self. It's a call to change, to enter the light out of the darkness. So with that possibility, that creativity, that new dawning, and for a clarifier, the Ten of Cups came out. So this is about, the satisfaction. We have Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and in between we have Ten of Wands. So you want this satisfaction, you want this emotional and spiritual growth, you want this material growth, but in the middle you've got the burdens. You need to drop these burdens. You need to figure out a way to mitigate them. Sorry, pain medicine's taking effect a little bit. At the bottom of the Ethereal Visions Tarot, we have the Star, which is 17. At the bottom of the Druid craft, we have number 18, the Moon. So this is kind of interesting. The bottom of the deck, what's hidden from you or what you're not entirely aware of. The Star, wishing on a star, dream fulfillment. The Hanged Man, indecisiveness, inaction, wanting to learn but being blocked in that learning. So you're being blocked. This burn, you're being blocked. And then the High Priestess, number 2, the Keeper of the Knowledge. 7 of Wands, defensiveness. And then the Chariot, movement forwards towards a goal. And 6 of Pentacles, needing to balance giving and receiving, needing to balance your judgment, your masculine and your feminine. And 2 of Pentacles, also needing to balance your time, Stop juggling, who you are. Stop juggling your time. You need to find that balance. At the bottom of the Druid craft deck, so we went from 17, the star, in the Ethereal Visions deck, to 18, the moon, at the bottom of the Druid craft. And the moon, it's talking about, at the bottom of the deck, it's what you're not aware of, what's hidden. It's your unconscious. And the moon is also talking about the unconscious. It's talking about transforming. It's talking about this new path out of these murky waters, up onto the ground, through the gates. And you have to go through, you might look at the dog and the wolf, which is like the wild dog, the ancestor of our modern pet. You might look at them as either loyalty, or you might look at them as, say, a lone wolf. Or you can look at it as, it's very odd to me because it's always been odd, because there's the saying the lone wolf, but then there's also the saying the wolf pack, or the dog, being a pack animal. But then quite often dogs can also be alone. So depending on how you look at it, to get on this path, you have to walk between the wolf and the dog, and between these two stone pillars. You have to walk through this gateway. So it can be about walking past your fears, or it can be about walking with like loyalty on either side of you, with this independence, with this knowing who you are and who you want to be. So like I said, we had, after the star and the hangman and the ethereal visions, we had the high priest. And the Druidcraft book talks about the moon what does it say? It says the moon reveals what the high priest conceals, or the high priestess conceals. So you're trying to gain this knowledge. You're trying very hard to gain this knowledge. You recognize the need for this transformation and for this knowledge. Underneath the moon, we have the lovers, which is number 6. It's a choice, right? It's a choice between two people. It's a choice between who you were in the past and who you want to be in the future. And the 6 of Pentacles. These two cards are echoing each other. The 6 and 6 here. Underneath that, we had the 5 of Pentacles, which can be a lack mindset. It can be a fear. You notice the hound is chasing the rabbit, and she's leaning on the tree for support, the tree of knowledge, the tree of life, but she's also hiding from the world. She's like, I just can't take this anymore. I can't bear it. I have to turn away. I have to hide my face for a while. But then underneath that, we have justice. We have that balance between the giving and receiving, between, let me find it again. You have that fast, you have the star, the hangman, the high priestess, the fast moving chariot, the change, the moving forward towards your goals. And then we have justice and the 6 of Pentacles in 2 different decks. So we're getting this balance. This balance is coming in after you make the choice, or because you make the choice. You stop hiding. You start facing your fears. And you get justice, you get the knowledge, you get the clear thinking, you get the balance. And then the star card is underneath that. So that's, you know, again, the wish fulfillment, the dream, the hope that's, you know, emotional, that's unconscious, that's spiritual. And Seven of Pentacles. Seven of Pentacles is talking about the harvest. And the harvest, the pentacles are set in stone. Sorry for the late reading and the quick reading, but I hope this gives you some insight. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions down below. Hit the subscribe button and the notification button if you'd like to see more readings. And hit the like button if you liked it, or if you didn't, the dislike button. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.